Being an only child, I am extremely comfortable with isolation. That was one of my issues when I was struggling, was that when I isolated myself, I was very comfortable with it.
Whether it's that you feel like, oh, everybody else's life is going great, I always call it Facebook syndrome. You know, we put out there what we want the world to see, and you know if you scratch the surface, there's more to it.
And my husband pursuing his career in research, that was the focus for both of us. After he received tenure, then I could focus more on what I needed to do just for myself. There was a lot of stress, and then with my not having any control of what was going on was driving me a little crazy.
She would call in and would say, I'm going to be late, I'll be there in an hour. Then call back later, oh, I'll be there in 2 hours. We knew something was wrong.
I would tell myself, I think I'm drinking too much. But then it would be, you know, I'll just keep an eye on it and I'll check it later. And then you get to the point of saying, I don't even remember doing that. Why did I take that drink?
Around that time, my dad was already out of the house. They split, and so it was just me and her.
I had no one to be accountable to. As soon as my daughter went to bed, I could just sit there and drink all I wanted to.
I would do routine checks of her room, going through all of her drawers, under the bed, in the closet, looking for alcohol, and every time I found it, I would just dump it down the drain and then put the empty bottle on her bed for her to find. And I would just retreat back to my room. I started cutting when I was 13, and my depression got really bad, and I attempted suicide multiple times. Luckily, it didn't work. I had to cook all my own meals. I was in charge of cleaning the house because no one else did it.
The disease is selfish. You know, it's all about me. Even the self-pity, it would be all about me. Christmas Eve, I went downstairs to wrap all the packages, and I started drinking.
It was Christmas Day, and I woke up, and I was just praying that she would be sober at least for Christmas. And then she wasn't.
So I brought all the packages upstairs and went to bed, and I just continued to drink. And I just couldn't get out of bed. For Christmas morning, she contacted her dad on FaceTime and sat there and opened her presents by herself. And then I went back to bed eventually, continued to drink, and she called a friend to come get her. I just went into a pretty deep depression, and I just drank. I drank for days. So a friend arranged for my father to come up, and that's when they took me to detox.
It was around that point when I was like, finally, I hate her. Like, if she dies, she dies. At least I'm out. And then she was put into Maida House, which saved her life and mine.
I actually had not heard of Maida House. The first day I walked in, someone that I've known for a very long time, she immediately came up to hug me and asked me what was going on, and I said, I need treatment for alcoholism. And she just said, you're in the right place. So I eventually found out that I also have bipolar disorder. One of the reasons why I started drinking heavily was I found that that was the only way I could, what I would say, quiet my head. A lot of people who suffer from addiction have an underlying mental disorder that, you know, leads up to the use of drugs and or alcohol.
It becomes a cycle that they can't break out of without help. And it's not a choice. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be addicted to a substance and give up everything that's important to me.
I myself did not understand I had a disease. I thought there was something wrong with me, that I had become a bad person.
She was very open and emotional about what was going on and did ask for the help. And how can you say no?
They're always like, are you okay today? How are things going? You know, and a couple of people come up and give me a hug, and I don't know, it's just I'm very fortunate. Pretty, can I do that?
I see a different Sharon. And she just raves about her support system at Maida House.
Which is, I mean, good things, better than...
Oh yeah.
She would talk more about her feelings, which was something that she had never really done before.
On the spaz. Just trying to entertain my daughter. It's working.
Sharon's worked so hard to get back to that place of trust with her daughter, and she doesn't take that lightly at all.
So look, they got the coconut right there. Stop your drooling.
She's awesome now. She's back to what she used to be, and she makes sure I have everything that I need now.
The best things in life are the people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we have made along the way. It really touched me that she would pick something like this out after what I had put her through. She is number one in my life and the best thing that ever happened to me.
She's my best friend. She's working really hard to make it up to me on everything that I missed out.
For each marble that's in there is a day that I've been sober, so that I have some sort of visual of my sobriety. My daughter herself was amazed and was like, wow, you know, you have a lot of sober days. Today I have 19 months of sobriety. I had hoped to have a longer time, but I had the one episode 7 months later. So as you can see, you know, this technically would be missing 5 marbles, but you can't tell. Nobody can take my sober days away. I wish I could have changed what happened in the past, but I can't. All I can say is I'm doing my best to not be that same person.